Hi, my name is Reed and this is my Maserati Spyder GT. Today I'm going to give you a detailed overview of the vehicle, as well as go over why I bought it, why I'm selling it, and all the work I've done on it. So I bought this car about a year and 2 months ago on Cars and Bids, and in that time I put 3,600 miles on it. Why I'm selling it is because I found one in the spec I really wanted. Yeah, I realized after 13 years of S2000 ownership, I didn't want a convertible two-seater anymore, so I bought a coupe. I think it speaks volumes that I love this car so much that I bought another one, right, to replace it. This car is one of 574 Spyders that were made with a manual transmission, so pretty hard to find. So you circumvent the maintenance costs associated with the Cambio Corsa and the less than pleasant driving experience that the Cambio Corsa brings. As Doug said in one of his reviews for these cars, buy a manual if you can find one.
If you get one, just make sure it has a manual transmission, if you can find it.
So let's start with the work I've done on the vehicle, recent maintenance or otherwise. I've corrected a lot of the issues that are common with these cars. Namely, the sticky plastics are totally banished. The heater core has been replaced by the previous owner with an upgraded brass one. The air vents, which usually break on these things and are hard to source, have all been refurbished, even the foam gaskets at the back of the air vents. Come to realize that these cars are really nice to work on, actually. Because they were all hand-built, there's no clips or conveyances to make it easier to mass produce them. Everything's held together by screws, bolts, nuts. The benefit is that it's incredibly easy to take apart. I was surprised with, coming from a Japanese car, how not frustrating this thing was to work on. I even done work with the hydraulics on the soft top. Yeah, surprisingly simple.
And if you get them right, which means well-maintained with the manual, you have a pretty good car on your hands.
First, let's talk about the mods that have been done to the vehicle. Mufflers are replaced with Larini sports mufflers, and then the middle section, the cross pipe, has been replaced with the Larini H pipe. The catalytic converters are still attached, the primaries and secondaries, so you won't have any problems with any state regulations you may have. I'm in Florida, so, you know. The wheels have Formula Dynamics wheel spacers on them, both the front and the rears. I've also replaced the head unit with a headless head unit, meaning the screen is up in the front, and then the guts of it are under the armrests where the original CD changer for the navigation system would be. And then all the speakers have been upgraded to Polk speakers. Now, as you might know, the Spyder actually has a different wheelbase than the Coupe. And what that means for us Spyder owners is that we have a more nimble, maneuverable car. And also you can see it fits into the spot my S2000 fit in just perfectly. This car has the 18-inch multi-spoke wheels. And personally, I've always liked these better than the, I think, 6 spokes that come on most of these vehicles. Pads and rotors are all fine. We took measurements on it, my brother and I, when I first bought it. And the parking brake boots I replaced those. The suspension has been worked on by the previous owner, and I do want to point out this is not the Skyhook version. Originally I was bummed out about, but now realize that's actually a blessing in disguise. You don't have to worry about an active hydraulically controlled suspension failing on you. Oh, and I did an alignment on it about 6 months ago or so. So we'll just go inside. Oh, hold on, that sounds really good. Let's do that one more time. Entering the car, we're greeted with beautiful metal door sill plates with the Maserati script on them. One of my favorite design elements about this car is the sweeping leather interior. Getting into the car is like sitting inside a nice piece of luggage. All the leather is in great condition. I had the black leather in the seats reconditioned in some areas where there were just some stretch marks. The biggest thing with the vehicle that affects all of these vehicles is the sticky plastics. So I took apart everything in the car. So nothing, even the B-pillar vents, the extra defrosting vent up there, the switches, of course, the steering column, all these pieces have been redone, as well as replaced the chrome rings on the outside. The inside ones are fine. The chrome rings start flaking on a lot of these cars. That's why I bring it up. The clock is a hoot to adjust. You push that to have it click forward, and if you hold it, you go into turbo mode. Dashboard is in great condition. The plexiglass on the front has no scratches or issues on it. One thing to note that took me like months to learn is that you can rotate one of these, there it is, this one over here, to dim and brighten your instrument cluster. The steering wheel is in amazing condition, better than my S2000 actually, which was an 08. The steering wheel is both tilting and telescoping. I'm proud of this one. This is the surround that I 3D printed. This is made of ASA, which is kind of like ABS, except it is also UV resistant. Unlike a lot of the regular plastics you will 3D print with, this guy will withstand the heat of a car and also withstand direct UV exposure. I chose Prusa's Galaxy Black filament because it's a great match to the speckly, like flaky paint on the trim. And at last, we're at our glorious 6-speed manual transmission.
This one has a true 6-speed manual.
Now this car is a transaxle, meaning the transmission is in the rear. It's controlled by cables. Standard pattern, reverse is pulling up on the collet down here, over far and to the left. I also just want to point out the beautiful piping and leather everywhere along these parts, especially with the red. It's just a classic combination, will never get old. The lower center console houses your mirror controls. Now there are power folding and unfolding mirrors. But now you can see the mirrors fold. Hi. And unfold. Power top controls are here. And inside, ooh, prizes. And inside we have our classic Italian cigarette lighter. So this is where you would put your navigation DVDs or whatever. This is where the SIM card would go, like an actual credit card size kind of SIM card, but only for European customers. The US never got that. And then I put the USB-C cable in here, connects to the head unit. And this is one of those pieces that commonly breaks in these cars. You'll see these cracked all the time. This particular piece was rebuilt by Car Plastics, that company in the Czech Republic that does a lot of Maserati, Ferrari plastic refinishing. In true Spyder fashion, behind the seats we have a small fabric storage unit, and then the rear glove box. On the passenger side, you'll see the Spyder GT nomenclature, letting you know it's a manual.
It's a true 6-speed manual.
The glove box has gas struts to make it soft open, because of course it does. And here you'll have your trunk release and your fuel cap release, as well as a courtesy light. So courteous. The sun visors work fine. They're small because of the convertible top. And I also removed the airbag stickers because they're ugly, and anybody who doesn't remove airbag stickers is like that person who doesn't remove the peel from their electronic devices. You know who you are. The outside air temperature sensor sometimes, at least in Florida heat, will error out. And then a couple of times, like 3 times over my 14 months of ownership, that has thrown an error code. Don't be alarmed if that happens. It's just a code you gotta clear. To use the memory seats, push and hold M and then 1 or 2. The system will beep to save your setting. But to recall the seat position, you have to push and hold the number for like 3 whole seconds before it does its thing. The beep means it's done. Don't know why it's like that, but I thought this was broken for the longest, for like a year. As with most Italian cars, the pedal box is kind of narrow, but I kind of like it. It's good for heel tone, which you can do because it's a GT. Something I always missed in my S2000, ability for the rearview mirror to dim itself. I believe it's called electrochromatic. So this one has it, that's the sensor right there. When headlights are behind you, this will dim so it won't blind you. None of that little dingly bit you have to flip. Oh, what's this? Huh. This car also comes with all of its keys. It's good to be small. And moving back to the trunk, we have 3 ways to open the trunk, either with the key, the bottom button there, the lock, or with the button I showed you in the glove box. Oh shit. More Maserati ASMR. All kidding aside, let's go ahead and get in the trunk. It is gas strut assisted. And inside the trunk we have actually, surprisingly, more room than the Coupe. The Coupe goes to right about here, all the way down, whereas this car you have that underside storage. Under here is the optional spare tire. Another little quirk I appreciate about these cars is that the lights have a courtesy timer, where if you leave the trunk or doors open for like 5 or 10 minutes, it'll turn off the lights so you don't kill the battery. Nice job, Italians. The exhaust tips are Larini. Larini. And they're more pronounced than the stock ones. I think they look beautiful. They're actually curved with the shape of the bumper, meaning the inboard ones are slightly further out than the outboard ones. And it's got this cool underbody diffuser here. Just gobs of space to gobble up air. The Maserati script on this car, interestingly enough, is real metal. They just don't make them like they used to. All right, the tonneau cover. If you didn't have this, you would have to manually put on a tonneau cover. But this makes it so you don't have to worry about that. Automatic sunscreen. You may think this is dumb, but I think it's kind of cool. That's neat. Aluminum gas cap. Only certain years had this. The dingle hopper is missing, though. Dingle hopper, of course, being the German word for the tether. Let's talk about one of the crowning features of the car, the convertible top. It's a hydraulically operated fabric soft top. It uses a hydraulic pump located right here to feed 7 actuators. The button's right in the center below your mirror controls. The only reason I had to work on it is because a hydraulic line failed due to rubbing. And I misdiagnosed it as one of the actuators needing to be rebuilt. So I sent it off to Top Hydraulics and he rebuilt it, sent it back, and then I realized it was the line that was the issue. So had to make me a new line as well. The hydraulic system, just like everything else in this car, was surprisingly simple to work on and easy to get to. In addition to those repairs, I also flushed the entire hydraulic reservoir for the top. So yeah, fresh fluid in there, everything's tip-top shape. The top has some wear on both sides right here. I guess it's a friction point when it's folding up and down. I trimmed them down. It's not compromising the functionality of the top. I live in Florida and have had this car in the rain plenty of times. It's my daily. Yeah, no issues, no water coming in. So just cosmetic. Something I like about this convertible top that my last car didn't have, the windows actually sit into the rubber groove instead of just pressing up against it. Driving in here is way quieter than the S2000 because there's like a headliner material on the underside of the top. Oh, and so the rubber here and under the tonneau where everything seals, I've greased that with Shin-Etsu grease. I use that on my S2000 once a year to keep all the rubber supple and moisturized, and it worked a charm. I never had to replace anything. The rear window is soft, and so I polish it every couple months as needed. Also, the surround, I've had instances where it wants to come up in certain areas where there's a seam. I've used contact cement to keep it down, and it's been like that for months, haven't seen any issues. As we move around to the front, the nerd in me can't stop but mention the spoilers on the windshield wipers, which are meant to deflect wind up, so it pushes the windshield wiper down as you're going at high speeds in your Maserati. Coming around to the front of the car, every Maserati has these headlights where the body color is also painted beneath them. The headlight washers on this car are here, which is actually like a hard to find part. And the hood has these really nice, graceful body lines in it. Higher in the middle, actually to get over the intake manifold. Here you can see just how proud the intake manifold is from the fenders, necessitating that bump in the hood. It's a functional and aesthetic piece of the car. Good job, Figaro. No issues up front, really. The front grille is all in one piece. I do love the kind of standoff or stanchion or whatever. And the Maserati emblem is in perfect condition as well. Well, here she is, the jewel of the car. I've always thought of this as like one of those rings in a ring box. It's so, I've ran out of metaphors. So this is the F136 engine. Doing research for like this video that I'm making, well, I was thinking how reliable this motor has been to me and is reported to be. Even though it's an exotic, the claims of reliability are backed up by the sheer number they made. So if you think about the F430, the California, and the 458, which all carried versions of this engine, California alone was produced in numbers like over 17,000. And so you add in the others, you've got tens of thousands of these motors made and in use. This thing is a 4,200cc V8 that revs to 7,500 RPM. It's torquey down low, but it picks up and not roars, it sings at above 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. You'll notice the intake manifold is solid metal. Seems like rugged powder coating or paint. The Maserati emblem embossed on the front, and it has all of its covers, another piece of unobtainium. The motor is just thrilling. There's not much else to say about it. And just like the glove box and trunk, we've got gas struts. Keeps it open for you without you having to use an arm. So up front, maintenance-wise, what's been done recently, oil change, air filter, spark plugs, all 8 of them, 2 coil packs. The AC system was recharged with Freon, which is a little bit low when I bought it, and it's been perfect since. The air blows super cold and hot thanks to the new heater core. And then the previous owner reported that they did the clutch, the drive belt, drive pulleys, and inner tie rods and boots, but not related to here, in February of 2024. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this car. The shorter wheelbase, the beautiful color, the manual transmission, drop top, the sound. I loved being able, for like the past 2 months when I've had both of these cars, to be able to walk out with my girlfriend and say, well, do you want to take the Spyder or the Coupe today? And I'm excited to sell in Cars and Bids. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Oh, I even wore my commemorative Nero and Rosso Mondial to match the car. I hope this video was a good balance of quirks and features and deep insights into the car's history and condition, and hopefully it'll teach you a few things that I learned along the way. And if you're curious, check out last year's video that I did in the S2000 when I sold it on Cars and Bids. You can find that under my past listings, and it's one of the embedded videos there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you're looking forward to driving your Maserati. Good car.